You know, I've been thinking about how much time we spend learning how to use everything around us. We learn how to use our phones. We learn new programs at work. We learn how to drive. We learn how to fix things. And whenever we don't know something, we can usually search for the answer. But there's one thing we carry around every single day that most of us were never really taught how to use: our own mind. And that's interesting because eventually, life gives you a problem that doesn't come with a search bar. Maybe something you worked hard for doesn't happen. Maybe you make a mistake you can't stop thinking about. Maybe you're trying to learn something, and no matter how many times you try, you just don't seem to get it. And when those moments happen, there's usually another conversation happening that nobody else can hear, the one inside your head. I can't do this. I'm not good enough. Maybe I should stop. Maybe this just isn't for me. Have you ever noticed how convincing that voice can be? Especially when you're tired, especially when you've already tried a few times. You start believing that because your mind is saying something, it must be telling you the truth. But I'm not sure that's always true. Sometimes your mind isn't telling you what you can or can't do. Sometimes it's simply telling you what feels uncomfortable right now. There's a difference. Imagine you're trying to understand something difficult. You read it once. Nothing. You read it again. Still nothing. And by the third or fourth attempt, frustration starts showing up. Maybe you even think, everyone else probably understands this. Why can't I? That's usually the moment when we want to walk away. But what if you didn't? What if you tried another way? Write it down. Break it into smaller pieces. Ask someone to explain it. Come back tomorrow. Try again. And eventually, something clicks. You've probably experienced that before. Something that once made absolutely no sense suddenly starts feeling obvious. Did you become a completely different person overnight? Of course not. You stayed with the problem long enough to learn how to handle it. But I think something else happens in moments like that. You're also teaching your mind what to expect from you. You're quietly telling it. When something gets difficult, we don't automatically leave. I think that's what training your mind really looks like. It's not standing in front of a mirror, telling yourself you're unstoppable. It's not pretending everything is easy. And it's definitely not ignoring yourself when you genuinely need rest or help. It's learning that discomfort doesn't always mean stop. Think about something in your life that used to feel difficult, but now feels completely normal. Maybe driving, maybe your job, maybe talking to people, maybe using something you once thought was complicated. There was probably a first day when you felt completely lost. You had to think about everything. Then you did it again and again. Eventually, you stopped thinking about every little step. It became normal. The thing itself may not have changed very much. You did. You adapted. And maybe that's something we forget when we're standing in front of the next difficult thing. We look at ourselves exactly as we are today and assume that's who we'll always be. I can't do that. Maybe, but maybe a more honest sentence would be, I can't do that yet. I really like that word, yet, because it doesn't make any promises. It doesn't say you're definitely going to succeed. It doesn't pretend something will be easy. It simply leaves the door open. I don't understand this yet. I'm not confident doing this yet. I haven't figured this out yet. There's still somewhere to go, and sometimes that's enough. You don't need to feel motivated every morning. You don't need to convince yourself that you're going to conquer everything in front of you. Some days, training your mind is much quieter than that. It's returning. Returning to the page. Returning to the work. Returning to the plan. Returning after the mistake. Returning after the day when nothing seemed to go right. Because eventually your mind notices. It starts realizing, oh, we're still doing this. And something that once felt impossible starts becoming familiar. Familiarity slowly becomes confidence. Not the loud kind of confidence where you think nothing can go wrong. The quieter kind. The kind that says, I've struggled before and I figured something out. That's a confidence you can actually trust. But there's another part of this that I think matters. Sometimes you need to be quiet enough to actually hear what your mind has been telling you. That's becoming harder to do. There's always something to watch, something to scroll through, something to listen to, something asking for our attention. And again, there's nothing wrong with any of that, but every once in a while, put the phone down, close the computer, take a walk, sit somewhere quiet, and just listen. What have you been telling yourself lately? What are you avoiding? What are you worried about? What have you already decided you're incapable of doing before you've really given yourself a chance? You don't need to fight those thoughts. Just question them. Is this actually true? Do I really need to stop? Do I need a different approach? Do I need some help? Do I need to rest? Or do I just need another attempt? Because training your mind doesn't mean forcing yourself through everything. Sometimes walking away is the right decision. Sometimes changing direction is the right decision. Sometimes resting is exactly what you need. The important thing is learning the difference between something you genuinely need to leave and something you're leaving simply because it became uncomfortable. And I don't think anyone figures that out perfectly. We're all learning. But maybe that's the point. Your mind is learning you too. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, it notices. Every time you return after a setback, it notices. Every time you ask for help instead of pretending you know everything, it notices. And every time you realize one bad day doesn't have to become a bad week, it notices that too. Little by little, you're building evidence. Evidence that you can learn. Evidence that you can adapt. Evidence that you can make a mistake without becoming the mistake. And evidence that when your mind says, "This is hard," you don't always have to hear, "This is impossible." Maybe you can simply answer, "I know it's hard," and we'll figure out what to do next. I think that's a much kinder way to become stronger. Not fighting yourself, not trying to silence every doubt, just learning how to lead yourself through them. If conversations like this give you something to think about, you can subscribe to Gentle Talks and come back for the next one. But before you go, maybe give yourself a few quiet minutes today. No phone, no computer, no one else's voice, just you. Listen to what your mind has been saying. And remember, you don't have to believe every thought that passes through it. You don't need a mind that never doubts. You don't need a mind that never gets tired. You just need to learn when to listen and when to tell yourself, "Let's try one more way." Take the time to train your mind, because wherever life takes you, your mind is coming with you.